but like this deck is godlike if you're getting the right cards. But there's other cards I can add to it, like I said, Raigeki, which I think Raigeki specifically destroys all monster cards on the field. Lightning Storm destroys all monster or spell cards on the field. Monster Reborn, I can special summon one monster from my graveyard back to the field. I could add Ash Blossom, which negates card effects. I can make an extra deck because I don't need the extra deck. And then because of making that extra deck, I could add Pot of Extravagance, which allows me to banish 3 to 6 cards from my extra deck to draw 1 or 2 cards and put them in my hand. Yeah, I brought her out so then I can... yeah, my original intent was to summon Erebus, but I'm pretty sure he negates my card effect, right? Is that what he does here? No. I don't know what that card does. But he's also on PlayStation, which made me happy because he was like, I'm pretty sure he's the first PlayStation player I actually ran into. And then I activate his graveyard effect to resummon her to the field. So then I just have a little bit more, what's it called? Insurance, just in case. Because I didn't want to get folded. Yeah, and then I banished her. I banished her and Erebus to summon out the Erebus that I had in my hand. And then I used Erebus' effect from the graveyard to bring him back to my hand, so then I would have an Erebus at all times. I unbanished that card from my I unbanished that card so that I could funnel more cards into my graveyard, and then Erebus' field effect allows me to take 1 card out of my opponent's hand at random and funnel it back into their deck. So I can literally just force them to not play the game. And I think that this deck is just the villainy deck at this point. I drew my 3rd Erebus, but like I'm pretty sure this deck is like the villainy deck at this point because there's so much evil you can do because you can just stop your opponent from playing the game. Like they just don't get to play the game. If you just keep going hard. Now, I do want to build more decks, like the Dark Magician deck that I saw earlier and got folded to. I also want to build a Blue Eyes White Dragon deck, even though it's the Blue Eyes Brick Dragon. Oh yeah, I literally picked all 3 of that card. He gave up as soon as he saw I picked all 3 of that card because he knew it was GG's. He knew he was going to get folded. But yeah. Jeez, these replays go by so fast. Like, these duels were not this fast while actually dueling people. And I feel like I have to just talk faster than I would have if I recorded this live, but that's whatever. I expected this to create more videos, but I'm determined to make these videos to 20-minute mark. Oh, so Mithra. I haven't explained him yet, but his ability is pretty much that if I activate him from my hand, I can summon him onto the field and then a Thunder token onto the other side. And because of the ability, the Monarchs Stormforth, I can sacrifice one of his monsters. And so I just made Vanity's Fiend, so now he literally just can't. And then I sacrifice Vanity's Fiend to bring out her. And then I don't... Do I use her ability? I do. So then I have 2 Erebuses in hand. I think I overplayed my hand here. I shouldn't have done that. In hindsight, I feel like it would have been better if I didn't do that. But boom, activates his card. Doesn't really matter. His card activates first, turns into a monster card. I use that to search my deck for the Stormforths, the 2 that I still had. And I got Tenacity again, which kind of pissed me off. So I was like, bro, I wanted Stormforth, but because I had 2 Tenacities in my hand, I could literally just search in my deck for Stormforth. And I don't know why he did this. I feel like this was a misplay on his hand. So I activate the Prime Monarch to get those cards back into my deck because I want them. I got a second Prime Monarch just in case he destroyed it. I use that as tribute to bring out Erebus. Bop. Now he's here. I'm banishing, or I don't know why I activated his effect. I don't know what Mithra's effect is for real when he's in the graveyard, but I sacrifice 2 cards, and now he only has one card to play with. So then I just came in with Ether to slap him up. He summoned a new monster, came in with Erebus to also slap him up because his card that he has played on the field can only activate once per turn. So literally, if I just keep destroying his monsters, he's gonna run out of monsters. And the Prime Monarch is so good. He uses Maxi, which is a huge misplay. He should not have used Maxi there. Because, like, I think people just get scared that they see me activating so many effects and, like, they think I'm just gonna start folding them. And so they just sacrifice their Maxis. Now, the player that I lost to used a very effective Ash Blossom, and they also used Skill Drain, paying life points to make sure I couldn't actually get my effects off. And you guys are gonna see that I'm a very stubborn player. Yeah, I activated the ability to actually bring out that card, but I misplayed here because it's not going to come out now as a monster card. So I heavily misplayed that. And I attributed both monsters there to bring out another Erebus, put them right in the middle, bop, activate our power. I should have activated that, or actually no, I did the right play. And yeah, I just kill him. Like, I OTK him. I just destroyed him with my 3 Monarchs. Like, this is a very, very powerful deck. And I want to use, like, an Exodia deck as well. Because, like, I feel like using an Exodia deck would just be too many memes. So that I can just be like, I can use the iconic quote of, "My grandfather's deck has no pathetic cards, Kaiba." But I'm not putting my whole heart and soul into that quote right now because I don't have the deck in front of me. Once I do finally make that deck, aka once I either spend money to do more summons or do more summons because I've done more ranked. Oh, he's running a junk deck. Yeah, he's doing a junk deck. That's an OG deck. He used that, and I'm pretty sure he thought he was the shit right here. Because he just made this major play. He overplayed his hand because if you're fighting, there's no way to know that it's a Monarch deck, frame 1. But if you're fighting a Monarch deck and you have to go first, you shouldn't overplay your hand. Because overplaying your hand like this pretty much just allows me to do all the setups I need to do. And because I can do all those setups, I can just fold you with no issues. Bop, I special summon him like that. And then I use this, ignoring his card effects, so then I can bust out, what's he called? Is that Majesty's Fiend? Yeah, Majesty's Fiend comes out, and now I don't have to worry about monster effects, which makes him a very powerful card. Now, I didn't calculate for the fact that I would need, what's her name? Edea's ability to summon Eidos. And then with Eidos, I could have attributed those two to make Erebus, but it's whatever. I still feel like I made the right play. And then he destroys my card with Space Typhoon. But my card still activates it. No, it doesn't. It doesn't activate its effect because it gets destroyed, but I can activate it from a graveyard and turn it into a monster to tribute. Which is not something that I think he was expecting, but I didn't really care. I wanted to destroy his monster and see what he had. He ends up summoning something. And I still attack it because I don't care. Yeah, he turns that into a defense card. I still attack it because I don't care. And at this point, I'm just doing chip damage to him. This was earlier today. So you guys are getting to see into what I was doing today between classes. And picking stuff up from the package center. Let's see. I got a Tenacity. I summoned him. And I'm just literally slapping him. Oh, I read his card. His card stops monsters with over 1900 attack from destroying it. As soon as I was like, all right, say less. I'm just gonna do chip damage then. Now I could have played my Stormforth, but I didn't. Because I didn't have like an Erebus or an Ether in my hand. If I would have had either of those cards, I would have used it. And then he gave up. He gave up because he realized his hand was bricked. And hiccup. There was nothing he could do. So yeah, And then there's Hunter. I don't remember if this was the dude that we had a close duel or not. And this video is reaching 30 minutes. Holy. This is just gonna have to be a 30-minute video. But I don't remember if it was him that we had a super close duel and I barely pulled out the dub, or if the super close duel was the next guy where I lost. But oh, he's the dude who had the Shard of Greed. Yeah, he had a Pot of Greed. And this hand is not the greatest. I'll keep it a $1.50. This hand is not the greatest. I used both those cards to get more cards in my hand. I just needed more cards at this point because I did not like any of my options. So yeah, I summoned out an Eidos, which allows me to summon, and then I think I bring out, yeah, activate that so I can get the Twister in my hand because all three were still on my deck. I tribute her to summon him, and then I just destroy both of his cards and bring that card out of the graveyard back into my, or not the graveyard, but I unbanish the card to bring it back to my hand with her ability. And then just destroy those two, and I'm like, say less, I'm gonna slap you in the face. So I slapped him in the face. He has a cool little robot though. I don't know how he got that, or how he got his little thingy there, his little icon, because if you look in the bottom left next to my name, you can see Erebus. Oh, is he the dude playing the... yeah, he's the one playing the Blue Eyes deck. Yeah, it was him. So he's playing Blue Eyes deck, and if he didn't brick, he would have died. Or if he didn't brick, I would have died. Like... because once I see this setup, I'm like, oh god, he's gonna start slapping me up. And then he brings out the Blue Eyes Twin Birch Dragon. Destroys my card, dealing 700 damage. Destroys my other card. And I'm just like, bro, you didn't have to do that. So I'm over here sweating a little bit, but remember, I brought my Twister out. And now I have the Prime Monarch, so I can start funneling cards back into my deck. Bust out the Twister, he has nothing to counter it. Or, yeah, all he has is Jar of Greed, which is literally just weaker Pot of Greed. Literally every of something in this game that's like a spell or trap card is literally there because Pot of Greed is banned, because it's too good. Yeah, then he uses Spirit of White to summon out another Blue Eyes, I think. Yeah, he summons out another Blue Eyes, which I can't do anything to. Like, I can't touch that Blue Eyes. But I activate the effect. I use that card to send that one to the graveyard to get more cards, because that's one thing this deck does have a problem with. Like, you need a lot of cards. I bust out Tenacity so I can get another Twister. Where it's called Stormforth. I should stop calling it the Twister. But I do this so that I can get another Tenacity in my hand. Or no, I got Domain. Oh yeah, because if I get that Pendulum card out of my extra deck, that can help me a lot. But boom, I use both effects of Edea and Erebus here, so I can get the card back in my hand, and I can also get Erebus back in my hand. Just in case he decides to do something that could, just in case he decides to destroy my Erebus with his Blue Eyes, I was making sure that I could stop him. And I force him to brick here because, like, there's literally nothing he can do here. Yeah, then I bring out Vanity's Fiend, so then he can't special summon either. So it's literally just down to that Blue Eyes. And he attacks my Erebus, as I expect. So I take that chance to bring more cards into my hand, but he Ash Blossoms me. So he negates my card effect, so I don't get those cards back in my deck like I wanted. But it's fine, because Erebus eats that measly 200 damage. He should have attacked Vanity's Fiend if he wanted to do damage on me, but I guess he just saw how much I did with Erebus frame 1, so he was like, I need to get that card out of here. You can't Ash Blossom me a second time, so boom, boom. And then I draw, and I draw her, I banish more cards, or I banish that card again to try to get the Twister. I get the Twister like I wanted. I play Tenacity, show him that I have Erebus, then chain that into the Monarchs Stormforth so that I can sacrifice his Blue Eyes for an Ether, and then with Ether, I can send more cards to the graveyard, and then once I send more cards to the graveyard, oh yeah, and then I brought her cost down, so that I can just summon her out, and just clap him up. And then next turn, he's literally dead because he only has 1,000 life points left. right? And she returns to being a level 8 card. And he just gives up. He gives up because I forced him to brick, and I was just going hard. He was the second ever PlayStation user, so I feel bad for doing him dirty like that. But then this guy, Akarian, bro. Akarian slapped me up. I won't even cap on y'all, and this will be the last thing I show in this video, but he slapped me up. Like, I gotta keep it $150, bro. I was out here doing other people dirty. He did me dirty. Alright? You can see him with the little Ash Blossom. I knew he had Ash Blossom in his hand, and I'm still stupid, because I play stubborn, right? He uses Upstart Goblin frame 1, which confuses me, because I only use Upstart Goblin in the Exodia deck. Because you need to draw cards. Once I saw that card that he flipped over on top of his deck, I was like, oh, he's playing Dark Magician. Because I'm pretty sure I guessed it wrong in real time. I guessed it to be what's it called? The Magician's Rod. It wasn't the Magician's Rod. He Ash Blossoms me here to stop my card. But I'm over here thinking I'm fine because you can't Ash Blossom the card once it's in the graveyard because he already used Ash Blossom. And I think Ash Blossom is limited to 1 per deck, I think. And I really want Prime Monarch here so then I can start funneling cards back into my hand or into my deck. And then I don't summon anything here on purpose because I don't want him to destroy it or Ash Blossom. That's the card that he had, Magician's Soul, which allows him to special summon a Dark Magician. I get my 2 cards back, but I'm pretty sure the way this duel ends, I lose because I didn't get another Twister. And I love the Dark Magician, bro. Like, Dark Magician is probably my favorite card in Yu-Gi-Oh! I remember I used to own a real-life Dark Magician, and I owned a Dark Magician girl. I am eventually going to rebuild the very same deck that I had back in the day before my mom made me give up playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Because she made me give away my cards. But, I'm going to build that deck one day. And it was a very, very powerful deck. Like, it was a deck that, like, it was a deck that was a force to be reckoned with, to say the least. Because, like, it was, like, a mixture of, like, Yami Yugi's deck with, it was, like, a mixture of Yami Yugi. It was a mixture of, like, Yami Yugi, the Pharaoh, and Exodia, pretty much. So, like, I was using a mixture of all those cards because, like, I had Dark Magician, I had Dark Magician Girl, I had Karibo in my deck, I had all pieces of Exodia, I had Pot of Greed, I had all that stuff. Now, I can't use Pot of Greed, so I'll replace that with, like, Pot of Extravagance or something. But, like, I had all those cards, and I loved playing that deck. I didn't always win like I wanted to, but whatever. Yeah, and then I destroy that card. I destroy both cards so I can draw a card. Because I just wanted that card off the field. I should have waited to play him. Because if I would have waited to play him, yeah, he destroys my spell card. If I would have waited to play him, I would have been able to destroy his, what's it called? His Eternal Soul or his what's it called? Skill Drain. If I would have waited, yeah, Eternal Soul is that card, which makes Dark Magician unaffected by card effects. He Raigekis me, which, that wins him the duel. It was that move right there that won him the duel. I didn't expect the Dark Magician deck to have Raigeki in it. Yeah, then he Skill Drains, pays 1,000 life points to negate my effect, so I can't use her card to summon an Eidos. And because I can't summon an Eidos, I couldn't summon out an Erebus. That Raigeki literally destroyed me. Like, it was that Raigeki that made me want to play Raigeki, Lightning Storm, Pot of Extravagance, all those cards in my deck. Like, it was that move right there that made me want to do it, because I'm like, bro, if he didn't do that, I would have lived. I unbanished that card to send it back to my hand so that I could tribute his Dark Magician. I make a major misplay here. Eternal Soul makes you unaffected by all card effects, and I thought, in my brain during the duel, I thought it was just from monster card effects. So I try to tribute him. Oh, he Solemn Judgments me. Which, that's the last damage he's gonna take. I try to tribute his Dark Magician, and it does not work. And I find that out the hard way. I send Edea to the graveyard to unbanish a card. Because I'm stubborn. So I wanted to try to do it again because I'm like, you can't negate it twice. And I realized that I couldn't tribute his Dark Magician because I read what Eternal Soul actually does. He destroys my card. And at this point, it's literally just GG's. I'm trying to buy myself time because if I did draw another Monarchs Stormforth, I could have won. If I drew another Monarchs Stormforth, I would have won the duel. But I didn't. Which is disappointing. If that card or this card that I'm about to draw would have been one of the twisters, see, it was the Prime Monarch. If it would have been one of the Monarchs Stormforth, I would have won. This would have been GG. But because it wasn't the twister, I couldn't sacrifice his illusionist apprentice. And because I couldn't sacrifice his illusionist apprentice, and he has enemy controller, it's pretty much GG's. And I think I surrendered here because I'm like, there's nothing I can do. Like, I literally just lost that. But yeah, those are all the duels that I've had in Master Duel so far. If you guys enjoyed this 40-minute video, pretty much, unfortunately, please like, comment, share, subscribe, and hit that bell for your young boy DC Immortality to help the Immortal Army grow and thrive. And I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm gonna play a lot more Master Duel. Peace.